All Things Motoring is made possible by CHANGECARS, with proud support from WeBuyCars. From selling to finance, insurance to expert motoring advice, WeBuyCars has you covered. Coming up this week on All Things Motoring, Mike attends the Porsche book launch at Kyalami, and Ernest returns for part 2 of the Franschhoek Classic Car Festival. This is a show where horsepower meets history, and every car has a story to tell.
Nothing screams French flair or Franschhoek quite like a De Chevaux or 2CV behind me. But for me, this car has many painful memories. You see, I was invited to race one of these when I first went to the UK. I was supposed to pay the deposit, ended up not paying it on time and missing the race. That same race involved Jeremy Clarkson and an episode on Top Gear, so of course I've been left with lots of regret and hurt feelings every time I see a car like this. But there's a lot more to the De Chevaux than meets my memories or the eye. So let's throw it to the voice in the sky to find out more about this iconic French legend.
The Citroën 2CV, or Two Horses, made its mark in South Africa as a quirky yet practical French import. Though never mass-produced locally, it gained a cult following amongst enthusiasts who appreciated its rugged simplicity, air-cooled engine, and famously soft suspension. Designed to carry eggs across a ploughed field without breaking them, imported models like the 1973 2CV became weekend cruisers and rally favorites, with well-preserved examples still cherished today. The Franschhoek Motor Museum even celebrates its legacy, highlighting its role as France's answer to the VW Beetle.
Jean, I think you might be a Beetle fan. You might, judging by the T-shirt.
Judging by...
And the cars parked over there that all are in your collection, and you've curated a collection here, but it's not actually a VW display that you curated yet today. Tell us about that. What are we looking at?
Not a VW display, but a Karmann display. Karmann is a Coachbuilt factory in the northern part of Germany.
Coach building has always fascinated me because it means that you take an existing car, in this case, and you give it to someone and you say, come up with a design. They'll obviously back and forth with the design, but you get this fresh take on an existing car, don't you?
Exactly. It's like taking something that's perfect and making it better, right? But not only from an aesthetic perspective, also from an engineering perspective, because now
please explain.
You have to make a practical roof that's waterproof, windproof. But
Karmann at the time were the experts at making.
They were the experts in making convertibles. They would take a coupe bug or whatever it was, do the engineering. For example, special engineering around the windows. Of course, the roof, it needs to be taken down, put back up again. So they did all the engineering around strengthening the chassis as well. So all the convertibles will have special strengthening beams, making the chassis stronger. Otherwise, your door simply doesn't work. The whole body just goes weak. So Karmann were making beautiful cars, but also well-engineered cars. This particular one is a 58, so it's 67 years old. Good as new.
Still going strong. One more question, Jean. What is your car doing? Because you're the first person that I'm chatted to in this row. Yeah. What is your car doing here specifically at the show?
Part of 40 of the Finest. It's a curated display. They were looking for something interesting and something representative of the brand. and something that you don't see every day on the road. And I got selected as the VW representative.
Well, you said it, congratulations.
Thank you.
It looks fantastic, and now I know which Beetle shape is my favorite. It's the slant front. I'm standing here by Ikram Daniels. Ikram, we were walking past your car, but the car didn't catch our attention. It's the car on top of the car. And then you ask yourself, then I ask myself the question, now I want to know more. So let's start with this car first. What year model is it? Why do you have it? And somebody told me now that you got more than one.
I got more than one, but not the same thing.
Okay.
This original car was originally my daughter's car. I bought it for her. However, she doesn't drive manual.
Okay.
And I offered, let me purchase it from her.
Yes,
so I
yes,
had to
yes.
buy this car twice.
Yo. That's good parenting right there.
Original price, 18,500. And then secondly, I think I paid my daughter $6,000.
Fair, fair.
Fair
All
enough,
things
yeah.
considered, I think that's fair. This paint job of this car is very striking, and it suits the car. Tell us a bit more about that.
Okay, so original, the color was like a maroon, and I think it was original with a white top. And then I decided I'm going to change it. I want to make it a little bit retro. The original paintwork was actually first silver with a red coating over it, and I didn't like that, and I changed it again. I went gold with red topping, and this is the result. So,
Very nice.
Yes. And then I decided I'm going to do a little bit of mods, not on the engine, but ignition system. So what actually happened was I took a garage remote, and this is what I've done. Okay, she won't start now, but
Obviously, she's camera shy. It's understandable. Well, and then lastly, let's talk about the model. Yes.
Okay, so this model I saw in Dreamer's hobby shop. I don't know. Kemal is the guy. I saw it for the first time. I think it was a year back, laying there, and I asked him about it, and he says, "Well, that's the only body laying there." I said, "Okay, I'm interested, but when I've got the money."
Yes.
A year later, I go back into the shop, and there this body is still laying full of dust.
Yeah.
And I decided, you know what? I think I'm going to be a new owner.
Too common.
And then I sprayed it exactly like my...
It looks cool. It's very eye-catching.
Yes.
And I'm glad you did it, because now we get to talk to you.
Correct.
Thanks so much for the info.
Anytime, man.
And good luck with the drive home.
Yeah.
Enjoy the drive home.
I will, thank you.
Coming up after the break, Mike dives into the Porsche book launch at Kyalami.
I've just decided I don't give a. They say in 25 years' time, if we carry on doing whatever it is we do now, the sky will go wrong and the temperature will go up 6 degrees, which will give us exactly the same climate as the south of France. Ooh.
All Things Motoring is sponsored by WeBuyCars. Looking to sell your vehicle? WeBuyCars is the right option, always.
When one thinks of iconic Grand Prix circuits, names like Silverstone, Monza, Spa Francorchamps and Paul Ricard come to mind. I'm going to add a fifth, and that is Kyalami. Anyone who followed Formula One in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s and 90s knows just what a fan favourite, commentator favourite and driver favourite Kyalami was. Today we have the pleasure of being invited to 60 years of Porsche at Kyalami. When one thinks of Porsche and this circuit, there are so many stories. We're going to chat to Toby Venter, Dennis Klopper and the legendary commentator Roger McCleary. Are we excited? I've said it before, you knew the answer before I asked. Life is all about making memories. I love motorsport. Today I have the pleasure of speaking to Dennis Klopper, SA Motorsport Memories. 2025, your first time ever at Kyalami, am I correct? Or am I out by a few years?
1969.
Incredible.
First time at Kyalami, and
For the 1969 South African Grand
yes, which was won by.
Prix, three-time world champion Jackie Stewart, 69, 71 and 73. And dare I ask how old you were in 1969?
I was 6 and a bit, maybe 7.
So a real youngster.
Correct, and changed my life. And I never missed a race from that day.
So now your memories go beyond being a spectator. You got involved with the actual running of the Kyalami circuit, am I correct?
Correct. So the Theodosia brothers purchased Kyalami, and they appointed me as general manager of the circuit. And we turned it around. We got World Superbikes back, we got A1 GP.
I remember that.
And sadly, they ran into trouble with other developments. And then the circuit slid down. I left the circuit, and then Toby bought the Kyalami at the auctions, and he said, come visit me. And I got back involved, and we redeveloped this whole venue into what it is today.
So we spoke about the memories of coming here as a spectator, running the circuit, present, but today itself, very special day, celebrating a few years of Kyalami memories with Porsche, 60 years?
Correct, yes, we did the Kyalami 60-year book. We set about 2 years ago working on that, and today is the culmination.
So on your screen right now, you'll see this incredible book. It's a couple of 100 pages, am I correct?
300, and it was supposed to be 280, it ended 380, so...
Hey, came close to target. However, when you are covering so much, you're going to add extra 100 pages. Memories never stop being made to many, many more.
Thank you, and thank you for your support in what you do. It also adds to the whole equation, so thank you very much.
Thank you, we're humbled. If it comes to motorsport in South Africa, there's one name that is indelibly etched in everybody's psyche and memory, and that is Roger McCleary. Recently celebrated your 90th, and today we're celebrating 60 years of Porsche at Kyalami. So 2/3 of your life, Porsche and Kyalami have been around.
I have been at Kyalami for 40 years. I can't believe it, you know, getting involved. Oh, the early days of the sports car club. So we've seen the whole circuit go. And when you went overseas, Mike, people would say, are you from South Africa? Do you know
Kyalami, yeah.
They all know Kyalami. And, I mean, that's what Toby's made perfect. I mean, the circuit is perfect. Whether we can afford a Grand Prix without money, I'm not sure, because you need big bucks now.
So you need some good government support.
Big
and to the South African government, get behind Motorsport South Africa. Roger, you've travelled all over the world, and you made a comment. If I go to Britain, Silverstone, Brands Hatch, Monza, Imola, but South Africa is indelibly etched in people's memories, Kyalami. What is it about the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit for you?
It was the involvement we had. The people, the drivers, used to love coming here from the early days because of the friendliness, and there's no nonsense with us. You can walk around the pits, talk to the driver. I remember sitting talking to Jack Brabham, funny enough, on the old circuit, on the pit counter. I said, Jack, what's your favourite circuit? He says, Kyalami. And
Incredible.
Belgium and then Monaco. And that was Jack Brabham. And then Graham Hill, I remember saying, I mean, you don't realise what you've got here.
Correct.
You go and see it anywhere. I come from South Africa, they say, why do you go to Kyalami? So it's been that well known, it's better known than South Africa. And the racing that we put on, the 9 hours, we were part of the world scene.
But Roger, I'm going to say something. My greatest memory of Kyalami is 15th of October 1983. My all-time hero, 3-time world champion Nelson Piquet. You won your 2nd title here. I will make a prediction. That memory is going to be surpassed. 26, 27, 28, we don't know. But South Africa, you are going to get a Grand Prix back at this incredible circuit. Roger?
How do you know that?
I just know it.
Have you got the money?
I have intel. I'm going to interview Toby and he's going to confirm it. When you hear the name Toby Venter, what comes to mind? For me, it's very easy. Ultra-successful businessman, very generous individual, the importer of Porsche, Bentley and Lamborghini into South Africa, and Toby, dare I say it, the cherry on top, the owner of the Grand Prix circuit, the international Kyalami Grand Prix circuit. Tell me about this incredible venue.
Yeah, what a wonderful story. You know, in 2014, when we heard Kyalami was going to go up for auction, we all thought that we'd lose it forever. It had fallen into disrepair, and I said to my team at Porsche, I said, you know, perhaps we should just try and save Kyalami. Once we actually won the bid, and I wasn't even at the auction, I was in the Western Cape doing a press launch of Porsche, and all the press were with. And eventually I was bidding against myself, and my CFO said, stop bidding, you actually got it. We couldn't believe it because we thought all the property developers would actually buy it. But when we got it, I thought to myself, oh my goodness, this is a huge responsibility. First, we've got to find the money to pay for it. And secondly, we've got to find the money to bring it back to its former glory. And that's what we did. We had to make Kyalami world class, which it is. We're constantly pushing the boundary. We want to bring it up to Formula One standards. We're currently grade 2. We want to take it to grade 1. And then, you know, God willing, hopefully one day we will see a Grand Prix back at Kyalami.
Now, you spoke about a grade 2 circuit. There's not a huge difference between what is needed to upgrade from grade 2 to grade 1. Could you share with us a little bit about that?
We have an approved plan by the FIA to take Kyalami to grade 1. The track itself doesn't change. It's just runoffs, curbs, extra barriers, and bits and pieces.
And then, for example, spectator areas. Do you need extra spectator areas?
We would need additional grandstands, for sure.
Lovely. So to Gate & McKenzie, the GNU, to Motorsport, the FIA, please make it possible. I don't think there's a South African that would not love to see the dream come true. 2027, 2028, would that be a realistic expectation?
There is a window for 27, but the Formula One guys want guarantees from the government, so hopefully that'll happen. And Formula One will kickstart South Africa's, reignite South Africa's economy and put South Africa back where it should be on the world stage.
Now, I can't give the financial guarantees, but I'll give you the following guarantee. It will be an incredible event. Toby, you spoke about a team. Everybody thinks of Toby Venter, the incredible businessman, and Kyalami, but there is a team behind you. To you and your team, may you go from strength to strength, and may this circuit continue to flourish.
Thank you so much.
Coming up after the break, Ernest wraps up the action at the Franschhoek Classic Car Festival. Did you know? Porsche's first race at Kyalami took place during the inaugural 9-hour endurance event in 1961, marking the beginning of a legendary motorsport legacy in South Africa. The brand made an immediate impact, with the Porsche 550 Spider securing a class win and showcasing the marque's engineering prowess. This debut laid the foundation for decades of Porsche dominance at Kyalami, from privateer entries to factory-backed efforts, cementing its status as a fan favorite and a force in South African motorsport history. All things motoring in proud association with SA's largest motoring brand, WeBuyCars, better than anyone else.
Famously named after Enzo Ferrari's son, the Dino doesn't have any Ferrari badges around it. I also met a guy named Dino today. Brant, what is your favorite topic to talk about? Because mine is cars.
This car is a particularly special car. Yes, this car is one of those. I had to have it because it's got a mid-mounted engine.
Yeah.
And that was the motivation. It was absolutely the way to go for me at the stage when I found it, and I just knew I had to have it.
The shape of this car, it's aged incredibly well.
Yes, absolutely. I think the original design was Garni Jacario, that did the actual design.
Yes.
But for instance, for me, Colin Chapman was an interesting fellow, and Jacario was in Italy, and they would fly over for a day meeting all the time, Colin Chapman flying them over the day. And one of the biggest things was figuring out how to make the windscreen work, because they wanted this particularly flat, long windscreen.
Now, we in the modern world don't quite understand how difficult that type of engineering was back then.
Yes, absolutely.
Because if you wanted to do certain things, it might never have been done before by anybody. It's such an innocuous thing, the angle of a windscreen, what material you're going to use, if it's going to work in the car. But again, the year that this car was made, this is 82 model.
82 model, yeah.
It's got a 4-cylinder, 2.2-litre carburetor, turbocharged engine. Garrett turbocharger on there.
Garrett turbo,
You were
yes.
mentioning that the 4-cylinder engine is actually slanted in the back.
It's
Why do you think
pretty
that
much
is?
at 45 degrees. The rumor has always been because they plan to add another bank on the other side. Which they did to make a V8. So yes, if you look at the history of Lotus, apparently they had the plan for the V8 for a long time, but because of projects and financial cash flow and stuff like that, quite often it was put on the back bench, and you know they finally got to it at 96.
Lotus has had quite a tumultuous past. Some might say even present when you look at their Formula One team. But when it comes to the cars, though, regardless of how well they sold, oftentimes they were seen as special. You've got a Lotus 7 as well.
Yes. But that's a replica, so lots of fun to drive.
What's the aerodynamics like on that one?
Well, what I've seen is it's a brick for all practical purposes. And I've seen some information where they say when you get to 100 miles an hour, for every 10 miles an hour you want to add, you need to double the power of the engine, which, you know, that's quite spectacular.
There was a company that made the S8, which was a Lotus replica as well, Westfield. I mean, Westfield just threw power at the problem there, I think. Let's contrast the Lotus 7 with one of the most aerodynamic cars ever produced at the time, and just shockingly good looking. Even now, I mean, this is the kind of car that I can just put my hands on my waist like this and just stare at for a while.
Well, you know what? I think, you know what you say about the power, it's only 150 kilowatts that they got out of that engine, but they managed to get 6.1 seconds to 100 kilometers an hour.
That's engineering right there,
That's
isn't it?
engineering, that's lightness. Colin's famous phrase was add lightness, and I think they certainly managed it. This car is about just over 1.1 tons, so that is it. But you know what? I really feel the outside looks of the car is one thing, but the interior is a different discussion.
Can you show me?
Oh, yes, absolutely. It's not the way it looks on the outside. That's almost a mechanical feature, it's aerodynamics and stuff like that for me. It's what you feel like when you get inside the car, which makes it
looks like
special
such a
for me.
cocoon, eh? And the seating position is so low.
Absolutely.
The gear lever's quite high up.
Yes.
Then you've got the pedals, which are, I mean, I hope you've got small feet, because those pedals...
My shoes are actually too big for this job, yes.
Absolutely stunning. Bran, thanks so much for the detailed chat. We
Okay,
appreciate
very
your
much.
time.
Thank you, indeed.
World Car of the Year judge and all-round good guy Hannes Oosthuizen once told me that one of the distinctions between modern and classic design is that when a car like this was designed in its original form, or a car like that, the parts were mostly individual, mostly crafted specifically for that car. These days, that's not the case. Everything is mass-produced for cost saving and efficiency. And when you come to an event like 40 or the Finest, that's not what you see. What you see is individual attention to detail, not just in the build of the car, but in the attention given to the car over the many years of its existence. It's a feast for the eyes, and I certainly ate to my full today.
We at All Things Motoring appreciate your support and interaction. And if you'd like to show some love to the show, head over to our website and click on the Fans of the Show tab. We would love to hear from you. Here is the Screen Top Tip of the Week. Detailing isn't vanity, it's preservation. UV rays and grime are aging agents in disguise. Before you buy a second-hand car, screen it. It's what smart people do. Coming up next week on All Things Motoring, Mike, Grant and the Driving Dynamics team take 10 of the latest bakkies and put them through their paces in the picturesque Lesotho Highlands. From scenic drives to high-performance testing and great consumer advice. This is a show with great reviews and gorgeous, well, views.
Today we have the pleasure of being invited to...
Jean, I think you might be a Beetle fan. You might, judging by the T-shirt.
René Arnoux and Jean-Pierre Jabouille in the Ferrari.
And that's probably would be the case because... let me just do that again.
60 of those years, Porsche has been around. Sorry, apologies, that came out wrong. Sorry, apologies.
Thank God for Mom and Dad for sticking together, 'cause we don't know how. Come
Need any motoring advice from where or what to buy or where to sell? Visit the All Things Motoring website and click on the Advice tab to ask Mikey. All Things Motoring is brought to you by CHANGECARS and proudly working with SA's standout and leading buying service, WeBuyCars. WeBuyCars, the brand that wants your vehicle more than anyone else.